Welcome to this segment of the program. Inuagata no Sahai is still my name, and this morning our conversation is on the topic, the WIT of emotional intelligence, W-I-T, the WIT, W-I-T, the WIT of emotional intelligence, and we'll be zeroing on 6 ways to take charge of your flexums. 6 ways to take charge of your flexums. Flexums is fluctuating, emotional, seemingly uncontrollable mood swings. Flexums, fluctuating, emotional, seemingly uncontrollable mood swings. The weight of emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is being smart with managing your emotions and also being smart with managing the emotions of others. If it's in the work environment, which is always our focus, is being smart with the ability to manage your emotions as you interface with your colleagues. It's also being smart with able to manage the emotion of your colleagues as well and other stakeholders in the system that you do interface with. And emotional intelligence is very key. And the journey of effective emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness. You need to know yourself. And in terms of knowing yourself, try to understand your triggers. What are those things that just make you to lose it? What are those things that, just gets you angry, that puts you off? In our Nigerian language, we say, what are your mumu buttons? Those things that just trigger you off. Remember in primary and secondary school days, there was this trigger that people had, and it was their nickname. And the nicknames stuck because it always triggered them to anger. You remember, some people have different nicknames and all the rest. And, when people call the names, the people get irritated. Their anger is triggered off. And the classmates seems to just enjoy, to see that their colleagues or their fellow classmates, get angry every now and then. They call that name. And so they continue to call that name. Those names became triggers for you then when you were in primary school and in secondary school. So it's good to recognize your triggers. It's very, very important to be self-aware, to get to know those things that just put you off. Like I said, in Nigerian language, in the street, what are those things that are your mumu buttons, as it were, those areas that, boundaries that when people stepped on them, you are just, put off, you are upset and all the rest. Being self-aware helps you to be socially aware. Your self-awareness helps your social awareness. Remember, your self-awareness is you in particular, and being able to effectively manage your own emotion, manage yourself, goes a long way to determine how well you can manage others. Social awareness is you being aware of the emotions of others and devising skills and approaches to effectively manage the emotions of others. But the journey starts with you. If you are not effective in managing your own emotions, you will not be effective in managing the emotions of your colleagues or managing the emotion of other people. And that is why this morning we are looking at 6 ways to handle or take charge of your flexums. Remember, flexum is fluctuating, emotional, seemingly uncontrollable mood swings. In simple ways, 6 ways to manage your own emotions. The focus is, the subject is emotional intelligence. And 6 ways you can start the journey of managing your own emotion from that, from that self-awareness of understanding your trigger. The first one is recognize the patterns that get you triggered and avoid the conditions that lead to them. Recognize the patterns that get you triggered. That reoccurring decima that trigger you off, that situations, that atmosphere, that circumstances that trigger you off. Get to know them, get to recognize them, and then you avoid the conditions that lead to them. This is so key. Then number 2, intentionally avoid prolonged sedentary positions. Intentionally avoid prolonged sedentary position. Now, when you sit for a prolonged period, it has a tendency of secreting some hormones that will make you act negatively, that will trigger some negative behavior in you. Yes, very true. When you sit down for a very long time. That is why in the workplace, in the environment, If your bit, if your task is to sit down for a long time to do your job or attend to people, sometimes just help yourself, ensure that your blood is circulating properly by intentionally just standing up, to walk around. Now, you may have an office assistant that help you with different errands and all that. All day the guy is there, the lady is there to help you. Sometimes intentionally stand up on your own, exercise your body, avail your body the opportunity for proper blood circulation. This will go a long way to make sure that your body is properly balanced and you will be in that positive mode to effectively interface with people. Very key. Then the third one, develop intentional calmness. Now, your phone don't own you. You own your phone. The tablet, the iPad, the laptop, your gadgets generally, they don't own you. You own them. And so they should not be in charge of your life. They should not control your life. Take charge. Take control. There are times that for you to, reset yourself, for you to maintain that sanity and be the best version of yourself, sometimes you just need to put those gadgets aside in order to effectively manage your emotions properly. Because as you pick those gadgets, you are seeing different information, different negative news, and this thing can set you in a very bad mood. And so sometimes, put them aside and just relax. Maintain that intentional calmness. It will go a long way to help you in controlling your emotions positively, being in charge of your emotions positively. This is so key. Now the fourth one, developed the therapeutic habit of drinking lots of water. Water is very, very therapeutic. In addition to its detoxifying ability, cleansing ability, is very therapeutic. You can find yourself in a tense mood, in a negative mood, and a glass of water can just reset you to the best version or better version of yourself. Learn to drink water. In elementary science, we are taught that the human body, is 70% water. So basically, the body depends on water to drive on. And so you need to make sure that you are always, updating your water level. Because there is a level it gets below. When it gets below a particular level, the body requires to function properly. The pH level is distorted and you will not be the best version of yourself. So intentionally learn to drink lots of water. Like I said, you can be so tense, you can be so disturbed, and a glass of water will make a lot of positive difference. Learn to drink a lot of water. Then 5, avoid BTP. BTP is bedtime procrastination. There are some people that behave negatively sometimes, not because they are bad people, it's because they've not gotten sufficient sleep. For you to be productive the next day at work, it is important you try to sleep well today when you get home. This is a generation of distractions. Distractions everywhere, from television, from social media, and all the rest. But don't allow that distraction be on the steering wheel of your life and of your emotions. Make sure that you are taking sufficient sleep. Then the concluding one, the sixth one, talk to a confidant. It is said that a problem shared is a problem half solved. Look for somebody reliable, somebody close to you that you can share your pains with, your heart with. Sometimes you may just need to go and visit a therapist or a dependable clergy or a close pal. Just share your heart, pour yourself out, and then be able to balance your emotion to a very, very great extent. Remember, it is the width of emotional intelligence. Looking at 6 ways that you can be in charge of your own emotion. This is so key, and learn to take yourself to the next level with this knowledge. I'll be continuing from this point next week, Wednesday. And when I return, I will still remain Inuagata no Sahai. God bless you.